have your fear, which might become reality. And you have Godzilla, which is reality.
I'm sick of Godzilla. Wake up, everyone! There are two things you don't know about the Earth. One is me, and the other is Godzilla.
We're safe enough. No human being can understand that. The monsters on Monster Island can understand it.
Whether he returns or not, or is never again seen by human eyes, the things he has taught us remain.
I feel I need to apologize, Jay,
Yeah.
to you, to the listeners. I feel like I've been gone for so long, and I hate that, but I'm back, and I'm sorry. And Jay, thank you for keeping the show going, and to Chaz and Ryan for coming in and being guests. But we're back.
Yeah.
We're back on Monster Island. So.
Well, you know what, Jake, I forgive you. The listeners, I'm pretty sure will forgive you. It might take some time, but they will. The patron saint of our podcast, Gilala, will forgive you.
Okay.
And I think that's all that matters.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, cool. Well, Jay, it's been a busy month. A lot of conventions. You're going on a trip.
Soon, a couple
weeks,
to
right?
Decon.
Yeah.
So excited about that, making our way out to Las Vegas. Myself, Mr. Ron Wilhelm, representing Toku Toy Town. And, we've both always wanted to go to Designer Con because of all the awesome vinyl toys there. Seeing all the, if you're following Instagram or following their, on their socials, just like hearing like the exclusives that are going to be there. I think Creature Bazaar just listed their kind of their roster of everybody that's part of their, like, I don't want to say tables because it's bigger than that. Their section that is all part of Creature Bazaar. M1. I mean, we know Marusan's going to be there. Max Toy is going to be there. All of our faves, on top of some of the folks that were at Kaiju Go. Resin Blood's going to be there. I mean, like, it's really Dingy Dave, I believe, is going to be there. Really cool. So super excited. I'm trying to manage my personal expectations because I will be there selling. So I know the exclusives that are going to be gone in like 10 seconds. I'm not going to be able to be running to those.
Well,
but just
that's why you're
around.
bringing Ryan.
I know. Actually, yeah, he can work the booth. I'll go run it. No, I feel like he'd be really good at.
Or make him go get the fucking Ryan. Go get the.
No, so I'm just excited to be in that environment because it is going to be different than G-Fest. It is going to be different than Kaiju Go. And I don't know. I'm really excited. Don't have any expectations other than I know it's going to be really fun. And like 10 or 12 of our good friends are going to be there.
Yeah, Mondo's going to be there.
Yeah. And then my buddy, Sweaty Vinyl, and his partner Ash are going to be there. And they're like so into the vinyl toy scene. They're going to help kind of be our Sherpas to help us figure out that type of stuff. But Thirsty Thursday will be there. Chaz is going to be there.
Damn,
it's going to be, I know, of course, Mark and Max Nagata from Max Toy are going to be there. All the great people. So I'm super excited to be at Decon for the first time. And then hopefully Toku Toy Town will make some new friends and some new patrons.
Absolutely. That's going to be good. I'm excited to see, see some footage and some content and hear some stories from that convention. We just had New York Comic Con, which had a little bit of a Godzilla presence. We're going to talk about that. So this is kind of a catch up episode. We'll do some pickups. We'll do some toy news, a couple things to talk about. And then we're just going to like sneak on out of here, but we knew we needed to do an episode. Jay, before we get into pickups or anything, I do want to say being at New York Comic Con, something I've noticed, this happened. It was they had a couple of the same booth setups that were at San Diego Comic Con. But at San Diego Comic Con, Godzilla had his own booth this year, and I was very shocked but excited to see that. And then right across from the Godzilla booth was an Ultraman Tsuburaya booth, and it's very cool because they're both. There was Godzilla, somebody in a Godzilla costume was there, and they had screen used heads of a Godzilla Gigan and a Mecha Godzilla, and they had all the stuff here at New York too. And it just feels so good to walk into a convention like that and be like, this is just a normal thing now. Here's the Godzilla booth. Here's the fucking, and the Godzilla booth. What I love about it is like they're selling con exclusives there. They had the little gold, -1 figure, but the booth it's got Bandai stuff in it. It's got X Plus in it. It's got Monster Art stuff. It's like, it's not just like a specific company. It's like, hey, here's the Godzilla stuff. It's all in one area. And I love it so much. It was so cool to see that stuff back at New York.
It's the brand of Godzilla, and hopefully Ultraman following suit as well, but definitely Godzilla right now. I mean, it's ubiquitous with all the other big brands that we see at cons. It's Star Wars and Ninja Turtles and Transformers and Marvel and Godzilla. It's just one of them now.
Well, dude, I mean, I think I sent you a picture a couple weeks ago. I was in Target, and I know anybody listening has seen all this stuff at this point, but you can walk into a Target right now and there's so much Godzilla stuff. And it's not, the Godzilla versus Kong stuff is still on the shelf. And then, clearly you got Super 7, who's always got Godzilla. But like right now, Super 7 has like new figures out. There's new blind boxes. There's new reaction figures. But then there's new Bandai stuff on the shelf. I think I sent you a picture of the Mechagodzilla and the Godzilla. But like that's not all. There's other Godzillas out there. And then there's all the new Ultraman shit is on the shelf. It is so... I know we talked about that movie and I talked about how I didn't really love it, but the toys look great, dude. Yeah. And like they have the figure, you just walk into Target and get Ultraman toys. And that is mind blowing to me. It is pretty crazy how accessible this stuff is now. And it's great.
That just made me think of something when you talked about the Ultraman Rising toys. One thing I didn't have in the news today that kind of like it happened. It got released a couple weeks, maybe 2 weeks ago. It's kind of like fell in between our episodes, but I didn't put it in here. But Max Toy Japan, they talked about and hinted at Kaiju Go, the Ultraman Rising and Emmy figures, but now actually seeing them out there painted and stuff look amazing. They are crazy. The toys look great across the board from everybody. I agree. And I did like the film. I hope that I'm very curious what's next for Ultraman, the IP in the US.
Yeah, me too. And I hope that series keeps going. I hope they make another movie. Like I might not have loved the movie, but I understand the things that I didn't like about it. I understand why they were like that. And I see what they're doing. And I will buy some of these toys. Like even though I didn't care for some of it, like the toys they look really great. Yeah. So it's hard because we were just talking off air about I've been doing like a rearranging of my figures. I've purged a lot of Godzilla stuff recently. I have a lot of stuff on eBay right now, and
go check out eBay.
And like we'll put my eBay link. And but like trying to focus my collecting a little bit, and then I walk into a Target and it's like, oh cool, here's more shit that is kind of like the stuff I've been getting rid of, and I want it so hard. It's like I have to call Jess, and I'm like, Jess, I didn't buy it. I didn't do it. It's like, where's my coin? But yeah, dude.
I would say like the crazy thing is as we talk about toy collecting and our collections and stuff, and making room and do all that stuff. Like the other thing that you have to, another reason for you don't buy those things at Target is you got to save some space and some money because, hey, it's like almost November, which means in a couple episodes, we're going to be doing our top 10 list again. It feels like yesterday.
I know. And listen, I think so this year, this has been a really good year for me for collecting. I think I have bought more Kaiju this year than maybe I have in a long. It might be like my biggest. And like a couple years ago, so like 2 years ago, I put together a photo compilation of every Kaiju related thing I bought in the year. And then last year I went to do that and it wasn't as much stuff as the previous year. So then I felt bad and I didn't post it anywhere. I was like, oh, I didn't buy as much this year. Yeah. And I've already been thinking about it this year. I mean, I have knocked off more of my top 10 things this year than I ever have. Thank you, Matt Bush. Part of that, a big part of that is because of you. And
good job, Matt.
I love you, and I thank you for everything, Jay. I don't know if you watched like last week's toy.
I did.
Maybe the last 2 weeks of Toy Anxiety. Did you see the Simpsons?
Yeah.
Figures.
The Treehouse of Horrors, the alien.
I am now Ectoglow Elite.
Oh yeah.
And Matt Bush sent me all. Thank you, Matt. Anyway, I have knocked off more of my top 10 list this year than I have been able to do in the last couple of years. But I am already thinking about next year's top 10 list. I know I'm not going to reveal what it is, but there is something that has been on my top 10 list for a couple of years. And last year I put it like back towards the end, but it is creeping. I think it's going to be my number one again. I don't know, because it's always in my fucking brain and I can't get my hands on one. So, dude.
I actually, you know what's crazy? I actually, this past week, not in any order, I started jotting down a few things.
Like new things for the new one? Or?
Yeah, for the new one. And I have a couple that, that are some big ticket items that just like, once again, it's availability, but it's also cost. And it was a little refreshing because like I've had a pretty good year as well from going off the top 10 list. I was like, okay, like I have like a good like 7 or 8 that like returning items, and then some that I'm like, absolutely, I know this is on my list now. But I was like, the year prior, I remember I think I had like 30, and I was like, how am I going to get this down to 10? And I'm like, okay, like it's been a little bit easier. And I say that before I go to decon, and I'm like, oh, I need to start collecting this thing. But it was kind of cool to be like, okay, like I feel like a lot of the ones on here now will be new, or like they just haven't been available. Like,
right.
It's not if it was available, it would have been purchased. Regardless, but it just hasn't had. So that's kind of out of our control. But I feel like when I've had the opportunity to buy some of the big ticket items on the list or whatever, like I've been able to do it, which is great. So I'm excited about this year. I think it'll be. I'm just curious to see how, Chaz had this idea when I talked to him as our first one, and then like now we're on like our fourth one, like to see just how much it's changed the types of items on there.
Oh yeah, I know mine has changed big
Yeah.
time from being, and it's just from like, it's partly from doing this show because
100%. Oh yeah,
you see stuff that I would never see, like knowing you, and like, I don't know, there's so much shit out there, dude. There's so much Godzilla stuff. It's insane.
Never ending.
It's never ending. I don't even know, dude. It's just hard. I know, like, God, we should figure out. I mean, it's too early, but we are both going to Japan next year. We should try to figure out some sort of Japan wish list.
Yeah,
and maybe we'll do it on the show. And see how much of our wish list we can find while we're there.
Yeah. Regardless, even buy it, just if could we find it. Yeah, honestly, like it might just be like depending on what the top 10 list is, like what I haven't had or what I haven't seen, like what is like, Japanese, which most of it is, like, that would be a great starting point.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Jay. Well, let's get into it, man.
You do some pickups?
Yeah, let's do some pickups. I don't have a ton, but
me neither.
We'll do it. We'll do it.
We got Kaiju pickups. Oh, what a glorious day! Oh, Kaiju pickups with our host Jacob and Jay. Rock on! Yes!
Chaz and I met last week, or 2 weeks ago. I had a pretty big like quantity pickup list, and I've had only a couple things come in, and I love them. They're all very, very wacky, and they're very me, and I love them. The first one is, now this one has a tie to you because I technically started this collection, and it's not a full collection started. I'm just picking and choosing. But when I was in New York with you when we went to Toy Tokyo, and that was the fake Spectre Man line from Awesome Toy. And I picked up
one of my
another-
favorite videos of all time. I think I've probably talked about it. I don't know if it's like available. I don't think it's anywhere where anybody else can see it. But guys, I talk about it. I mentioned it this week. For some reason, it came up, but there is on video us walking into Toy Tokyo, and I just happened to be filming. And I was filming Jay when he saw this figure, and his reaction is the most wholesome, beautiful reaction of all time.
Hey, I love me some fake Spectre Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was I think that was fake Spectre Man number 9. And then the one of the past weeks with Chaz and Ryan, or just Chaz, I think it was the one with just Chaz. I got the number 2 Spectre Man from Toy Underground, which is either in Hong Kong, Taiwan, Singapore, one of those. And it's awesome because it's like really cool. Has pipe cleaners in it because that's amazing. But then I Toy Art Gallery. We love Toy Art Gallery. They're a great website. A lot of cool stuff. They were doing a moving sale, so everything on the site was like 25% off.
Wow.
Everything but pre-orders. And this was on there, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to pay $70 for this. I got to get it. And so I got fake Spectre Man number 3.
Ooh.
So this cool looking guy. I mean,
I love the colors on that one.
Talk about vintage, like Pachi style. Like everything is just like, I mean, this is literally like the best way to do like an unlicensed product, you know? Like, I mean, this was, I don't know what this one was, what Pachi release this was based off of, off the top of my head, but I absolutely love this one. And it's just like matte, you know, yellow, like just probably, you know, was like $2 at the, you know, the dollar store, whatever. Like, it's amazing. Absolutely love this guy. Awesome Toy does great stuff. And now this is my 3rd one. So I mean, it's getting there. It's getting there, but I absolutely
like
love
Starburst.
Yeah, it does. It is just, there's something about like yellow, orange, and red. And like, it just screams bootleg and vintage and stuff. It's just great. Very cool. But speaking of cool colors, now, speaking of our patron saint, we mentioned him earlier, Gilala. We know I have a pretty good Gilala collection. I love Gilala. And I had the blank yellow and red. I have the blank yellow and red that I got at G-Fest a couple years ago, the ketchup and mustard. But they have a cousin, Marusan, another blank. I don't know what condiment he is because he's purple. This is my, I don't know, plum sauce, eggplant. I don't know. He's there. He is.
Halloween cat. Remember Heinz used to have a purple ketchup. It was a Halloween thing.
There we go.
Yeah.
There you go. Grape jelly. He's my grape jelly. But yeah, it's the Marusan sculpt. It's another blank. And
love that.
You know, it was Gilal, and I'd never seen the purple one, and it was for really, really, really cheap. And I was like, I'll add him to the collection. And it fits perfectly in the Detolf.
It's beautiful.
The last thing I got is actually I was really jazzed to get it. So really after Kaiju Go, and we talked about this on our Kaiju Go recap, I went more all in than I had been on the on Max Toys, kind of the Captain Max line. Right.
Yeah.
So I have I have almost 3 full Detolf squares of Captain Max figures now. And trying to get like all the monster stuff in like unique colorways, one-offs, things like that are really cool. And I picked up the Alien Zam 1.0 that I showed off with Chaz last week, which was a Mark painted like in 2011. It was really cool. But one of the main Kaiju that is featured in that line, you know, you think of Izon, you think of Tripus, you think of Zam, Alien Zam, but is Drozeron, and it's like kind of the very, very classic one, but I hadn't had one. So I found one. Somebody was selling one on, I think it was Vicious Fun, actually. I don't think it was on eBay or anything like that, but it was one painted by Godo-san in Japan. And it's cool because it comes with a little like insert that has like Mark and talks about Godo-san and everything like that. And you know, Godo-san was probably 90 then because he's like 180 now. But and anyway, but it's a beautiful colorway, and I don't have anything like this in the collection. So I got this. It's this amazing kind of like seafoam green.
Wow.
And it's beautifully painted with some gold, some metallic green, a little like metallic pink. And it is just beautiful. It is absolutely stunning. I love it. It's not as wacky and bold as some of the other ones that they have. So I think it kind of stands out because it's a little bit more, I don't want to say subtle, but a little more reserved. But it's really cool. It's very cool. And I love
chunky.
This. Yeah, he's big.
He's so chunky.
Yeah, he's about 9.5 inches tall. Yeah, it's big.
It looks like a mushroom cloud on his chest.
Kind of. Yeah, a little bit.
That's cool.
Or bloody chest hair. But it's yeah, and I don't know. I just absolutely love it. And that collection, it is one of those collections that I look at every day when I walk into the room, because this is like my work office too, and I walk in and I notice it and I love it and I enjoy it and I really am excited to add more pieces to it, because once again they're limitless, just like Sofubi, because there's so many custom one-offs that Mark and them have done, and it's so great. But this piece is just beautiful and super duper. Happy to have that. So those are my 3 pickups, and I love them. They're all wacky and zany, but they're all welcome additions.
Yeah, dude, good stuff, man. Love it.
How about you?
Always. I got a couple things. I got a couple things sent in from listeners that I want to show off. So this first one came from Nick and Ashley. They sent these. Some of the stuff would have been sitting at Craig's house for a while, because it all goes to the P.O. box. But this first one, Jay, is this beautiful
Koosh ball
from the 1998 Godzilla. But what I love is that
with the
it's
tag.
still got the tag on it, which is pretty crazy. So tag is still on here, and I love the weird stuff. So this is great. This weird little Koosh ball. So
I love it because when we always talk about 98 and how like it just was a merchandising out the wazoo, and when you have not only a Koosh ball but like with the Godzilla head, like in the limbs, it's just amazing. It's amazing.
I mean, like, say what you want about that movie, it's not, nobody loves that movie. I mean, I guess there probably are, but the movie's not great. But I still have a good bit of my collection. I still bought a lot of the toys, and I still will buy stuff from it. So this is cool. This other thing was sent by Matt Bush, and I showed this off on Toy Anxiety. But so Super 7 has these new kind of weird Super 7, like out of nowhere. They got the Ultimates, they got the reactions, and then they now have these like Super Kaiju, like they're in between. They're like
interesting.
They're very articulated. The mouth opens, you can see the articulation in the hands and the legs. But they're not quite the size or the detail is the Ultimates. I don't know what the deal is. I really don't. I'm not sure what they're doing, but they have released.
Oh, cool!
They released the Mechagodzilla, and so Matt Bush sent me these, but I have since seen these in Target. You can buy these.
That's amazing.
So,
I wonder if that's one of those things where obviously Super 7 has that relationship with Target, and they're like, we need something bigger than reactions, but a different price point than
maybe.
Yeah.
At first when I saw these kind of happened out of nowhere, and I saw them online. But when I saw them online, I thought that they were exactly like the reactions, just a little bigger.
Yeah.
But like getting them and looking at them, I'm like, these are not. These
amazing.
Don't look like the reactions at all. It's like their own thing.
That's amazing.
So yeah, these are out there. You can pick these up at Target. And thanks, Matt Bush.
That's awesome. Good job, Matt.
Yeah. One more thing, and this I picked up at New York Comic Con at the My Plastic Heart booth. And I've seen this guy before, but I wasn't expecting to like look it dead in the eyes.
That's when it gets hard.
But I got this guy.
That thing is so good.
I love this. It's I believe this is by Kanatsu. I think that's how you say it. And they do the Nagoras, they do all the cute little kaijus, and I knew that they were going to have, so they have another character that looks a lot like this, but is on all fours and kind of looks like the reindeer.
Riadora,
Yeah, and it always comes with a little Nagora. And I have an older release, but I knew they were going to have new ones there, and they're like green. They look so good. I wanted it, but then I got there, and this guy was there, and I was like, oh, no. I'm getting this because I just love it. It's like, I showed this to Peter from Mondo, and he was like, what the fuck? He was like, it looks like a Disney-fied Sofubi, and I love that. I just like, it's such a good sculpt. It doesn't really come through in the video, but he's translucent. I can see through him. It's got like a really nice, he looks like a piece of candy.
Yeah.
I love this guy.
Yeah. I, when you sent me the picture of that, when you're at Comic-Con, I was laughing because the blue version of that,
Yeah.
I literally have almost bought like 25 times, and it's just one of those like, oh, because there's always going to be other colorways, and then the green glow in the dark one on the quadrupedal one, the whatever.
Yeah.
I've almost bought that one. Like, they're so cool. They're so cool.
I love the 4-legged one,
Yeah.
and they're this big though.
Yeah,
they're
small,
so tiny. But yeah, I just love this, man. It fits in. I have a whole DTOF square of Nagoras, and this is going in there, man.
It could be their guardian dragon.
Yeah, it's going right in there. Love it. This was my favorite thing I picked up.
That's really cool, man. That's really, really, really cool. And also, like, it's fun because now it's tied to your fun trip to New York Comic Con, all the stuff you guys did for Ghostbusters and for Hasbro and Mondo, and the panels and stuff. Like, it's a nice little, like, every time you look through that translucent red vinyl,
that's what I see. Yep, I see.
Right at you. Fun memories. That's awesome.
But yeah, dude, that's it. Light on the pickups. Light on Godzilla pickups.
Yeah, I had none. I had Gilala, a fake, not even real Spectre Man, a fake Spectre Man, and Drazaran. So like, it's yeah.
Well, shoot, man. Let's get into. We got a little bit of toy news. We can talk about some slides.
So we got no slides. Got some photos. Got some pictures. I totally mailed it in this week. Dude, I don't have my normal.
Hit you. I hit you off guard. I was like, Jay, can we record tomorrow?
But hey, so I have a mix of some images that you took. So I got your permission
from. A couple of those I stole from the internet, but
I stole all
some I took. So,
and so like when we go to some of the Comic-Con ones, you can obviously chime in and what everything looks in person. And then we have some some other toy news. I might be bouncing back and forth between to get some details on some things because, like I said, these are just the photos. I believe the Comic-Con ones are first. So let's go through some of these, and then I have no idea what order these are in. I'm just going to start showing them. So here's the first one. Okay, so this must be the X Plus Star Ace X Plus North America booth.
Mm-hmm.
So how was this? I mean, they had a pretty big, looked like a pretty nice size setup.
Dude, they had a good little section of stuff. It was very cool. I just liked. I wish I would have maybe taken some time to try to talk to them, but it was so hectic. It was like trying to get in and get around and see everything. But they had all their really bad Ghostbuster stuff on display. Listen, the Ghostbuster stuff I don't like, but every other thing in this booth I would buy. Literally all of it. They had some we'll talk about this first, but the booth was great. All of these prototypes. I guess I'm not like super familiar with what's happening here. I don't know if this is like a new line they're doing or what the deal is, but these are like, like maybe an 8-inch. Yeah, they're small. Well, they're not big. These are kind of small. I don't know what the deal is, but they all look great,
Yeah, I know that they're trying to really tap into that, like the large monster series, which is the 25 centimeter, which is in that scale. And the big one that everyone was talking about was the puppet the Guignol version, the prototype one that they had there. That the X Plus is released before, and so. From 54, so that's one that doing it in this size and a new kind of re-release of that will be pretty cool. So they look, the good news I took away from this when you sent me this is like, hey, X Plus North America wasn't going and saying, okay, this our first Imperial but done on the 62 has to hit or we're not going to continue. And it's like no. Like
they had that figure there on display. It looks great, I think they were a good showing.
There's a better shot of that one.
Yeah, there's some more stuff.
Yeah, love that the 62's up there, there's in gray, and there's the 54. Yeah, love that stuff. The Space Godzilla. There's the 62 painted the Imperial over there. Under that guy's hand. Yeah.
Yep.
Very cool. The Space Godzilla we've talked about. Like I love everything Space Godzilla. Yeah. But I don't think that's a great interpretation. What else do we got here from X Plus? Okay, here we go. Here's the Space Godzilla, and here's the black version of the Mecha Godzilla. How did that look in person?
It looks great. I thought it looked cool. To me, the weird thing, I love X Plus, and I wanna be buying all this stuff, and I love the like super realistic sculpts. But what I am not into is if I'm buying a realistic sculpt, I don't want like an alternate color. I just
100%.
want it to look. I mean, we both have this Megalon, and it's perfect.
Right.
This is just like the one thing that I like about this Megalon is the red of his eyes. I love the red in his eyes. They pop. But I'm just not like, I'm not going to spend $200 on a figure where it's like realistic, but we changed the color. So, and that's what they had on display was a Megalon, a Space Godzilla, and a Mecha Godzilla with wacky colors. And I'm not into that.
Yeah, I 100%. I think that's I think a lot of us are. And I'm curious if they feel like it's a bridge from like, like making X Plus okay for Sofubi first collectors or the other way around. Probably. But it just doesn't, to me, it doesn't work.
I think it's probably just something they're trying out and they're going to dabble in it. And if it sells, they'll keep doing it. And if not, they'll just keep doing regular X Plus. So.
And then we had this guy, the Garamon. The unpainted Garamon from Star Ace / X Plus looks great.
Yep. I'll pick this up. I mean, like, clearly I want to see it painted, but like, it's beautiful. They had a Kanagong. I don't know what all we got photos of.
Oh yeah, I think you have the Kanagong here. I think he's right here. There he is.
There he is. Look at that.
Those are the two best right there, Garamon and Kanagong. Yeah. Can't get better than that. But like these are even in the unpainted prototypes, or you can even say they're grayscale for Ultra Q. These are great.
Yeah,
I know.
Love them.
I know Star Ace does some of the legendary Godzilla stuff. I think they're gonna in the US might have to brand it Star Ace as opposed to X Plus. But anyway, because I was interesting to see the Mecha Godzilla here, the legendary one done with the Star Ace logo on that. But it might also just be like they were plastering logos everywhere.
I don't know what the deal is with X Plus and Star Ace. I don't know where one ends and the other begins. I don't know if it's just the exact same company, but the name is like. Okay, well, I don't know what the deal. I don't know why it's like, like, especially if now there's X Plus North America. Why can't they just get rid of? Well, it's a little confusing,
and there used to be X Plus USA, which was for a while there. But anyway, like, it's kind of a lot of these unpainted ones. It's the same old because it's like. Yeah, it's great. Their sculpts are great. Yeah. Like, what else do you want to say?
The legendary stuff looks good. You can kind of see the Mothra here. Yeah, the Mothra. I like the base. The Mothra base. It all looks cool. I'm probably never gonna buy like like high end American legendary Godzilla thing ever in my life. But like they do look like the Kong looks really good. They all look great. Yeah.
Let me see what else we have here. We looked at that one. Oh, there's a nice little Red King there. That Red King looks really cool. Yeah. Let's see. There's the Megalon we talked about in Kanagong. Let's see if there's anything else here. I think that was it from the X Plus booth. Okay. Now, I know the other New York Comic Con thing that we had pictures from that was just super awesome. Everybody was excited to see a painted version was this guy right here. The Aztec, Urban Aztec King Ghidorah.
By the way.
Oh, nice. No worries.
I just want people to know if you see your photos here. I don't know who these were. I just Googled some of these things because I just needed them last minute. But yeah.
So talk to me about this one in person. I mean, we knew it was big.
It's giant. This is such a huge fit. The wings are so thick. I think this looks great. I love it. I love that they kept like some gold accents, on it. The details in it are great. I don't think we have a photo of it, but the details in the tail look so good. What's funny is they had told us that Hector and his wife were in the hotel painting this like the night before. Like they didn't even have this on display on the first day, and they posted some photos. Like either Hector or Peter, one of them in there, like. Their Instagrams posted like some photos of them in the hotel room, like painting this in pieces, but it's a impressive toy. And like, I don't have any of the Aztec Godzillas. I really like that one green one they showed, but it's never went on sale. I don't know what the deal is. But I'm kind of scared to pick it up because like, are they going to just keep going? Like these are huge figures. Yeah. And I know, Ghidorah is probably going to be the biggest, but it's like, I don't have room for 3 of these things or 4 of these things, but it's killer. That's a killer looking figure.
So I had one issue with it, and it
Okay.
has nothing. It has nothing to do with the sculpt, the paint, anything like that. As far as like what's actually out there, because it's beautiful. I agree with you. It
Yeah.
looks awesome from just the photos. So I love the paint on this one, the colorway, the reds and the blues and the golds and the blacks
Yeah.
and everything. I kind of hate that they don't have the Godzillas they released. None of them kind of follow this same.
It doesn't
colorway.
match.
Yeah, there's like the reds have some like reds and oranges and blacks, or it's the greens and the blues.
Right.
And that might be by design, but like for me, it's like I would love the Godzilla in this color with the blues, the reds, and the gold. Like
that's something. That's something like we've been trying to get Hector and Peter on for a while, and I even mentioned it to them I mentioned it to them at the show. I was like, guys, we got to figure this out. But that's a good question for them. Like if they're going to, if maybe any of the other releases of this are going to match the Godzillas, or if a Godzilla might be released that matches this color, because that's a good question to bring up.
Yeah. So what else was there? Anything else at Comic-Con that you saw from a toy related standpoint? I mean, I know I don't have a photo of it, but I was super pumped to see the new Tom Whalen.
I didn't even see Tom or his toy or anything, but
it was so so good. Yeah, I think the Abominable Toys does some really good stuff. The
only other thing I saw, and I didn't get a picture of it. I don't know if you watched the Mondo walkthrough that YHS did.
Yes.
So Mondo didn't have any other figures on display, but they did have this Godzilla Tiki thing that's coming out. I am not a Tiki person. I don't own any Tiki stuff. It's just not for me. I just don't have room for that in my collection. But this specific Godzilla Tiki that they're putting out, it's like a bowl. It's not just like a cup. It is this big bowl that has all of the kaiju from Destroy All Monsters on it. And then Godzilla's in the middle, and he's made so you can pour stuff in his mouth as well. And I made the comment on the video, I cannot wait to eat ramen out of that thing. And that's what I'm going to do with it. It's a big fucking thing. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to put soy sauce in his fucking mouth, and I'm going to put dumplings and ramen in the bowl.
I love that.
Cannot fucking wait.
Yeah.
We don't have a picture, but it's cool. So it should be, you'll be seeing photos of it on Mondo pretty soon.
Yeah. I, the Heat Ray, go back to the Heat Ray Abominable Toys Chomp Godzilla from Tom Whalen.
Yeah.
It's amazing. There's some really cool stuff. I mean, between Mondo and what like Tom's doing with Abominable, that they're just, I don't know, there's too much good stuff out there.
Yeah. Hey, another thing that I'm bummed we missed is the director of -1 was doing autographs at New York Comic Con. He was doing a panel, and the day he was doing the autographs, it was only it's like an hour, and they're like free. You just have to sign up or something. And we were like, oh, let's try to do that, and we looked it up on the app to see what time it was, and it just says across it sold out. And we're like, it's free. Why is it sold out? And it's like, I guess they've already gotten it online to it. So we were like, we just completely missed it. I know they did a panel. We just did not have time for.
If anybody wants to go check it, I got all my coverage of the Yamazaki panel from Kaiju United. Kaiju United,
Okay,
Jacob
cool.
and that crew, they did really cool stuff, and they were there front row. And they did some cool stuff there, but I thought it was really neat. I love that he said if he could redo any movie, remake one, it would be Godzilla versus Hedorah. I thought that was great. So really, it was really cool. And
I did
nice win for New York Comic Con
for sure. I also saw because I subscribed to him, the Monster Island buddies was there, and he posted a video of all the Godzilla stuff, and he posted his thumbnail was a picture of him with I forget who, but with a celebrity, but he's blocked his face out, because he always wears masks. But I was like, oh man, I could have seen what that guy looked. I could have seen, not even known it, because seeing what he looks like.
I love that.
I like his videos he puts out.
This is good stuff. Yeah, I mean he's a legend now. But we had some other toy news outside of New York Comic Con. We had some other cool stuff, but I'll say, hey, let's stay within the world of Star Ace and X Plus and even Legendary. And this guy came out.
Hey,
the Kong with
they had
the
this
beast stuff.
They
did. Okay,
there.
cool. Yeah, it looks great. I mean the
looks really good.
the bio enhanced anatomic seismic thunder glove. We love that. But this bad boy, he is up for pre-order now. And this is from the 30 centimeter line collection. So these are, be your 10, 12 inch tall figures, and is due out in the first quarter of 2025. So not too long. And the cool thing is, like, once again, because it's Star Ace, these aren't crazy prices. If you think about how amazing this is with the glove and everything, the deluxe version is $220.
Not bad at all.
Not bad at all. I mean, for what you get, really cool stuff. One of the other things that, speaking of X Plus, but going back to the large monster series, I think I have a photo of this one as well. I do. This was shown there, from the Evangelion Kiryu, if you will, and we've seen this from Bandai. They had theirs that the movie monster series did, and this is the Unit 01 color, and this is I know John, your Cabo was going to love this one, but
I love this. I don't know if you ever watched any Ava.
I did. No.
I've seen I have not seen all of it. I've seen a good bit of it. And I recently, in the last year or so, I have gone and looked to see how expensive on the secondary market their Godzilla mashup. Because they've done 2 or 3 where it's a mashup of the units and Godzilla himself. Yeah. And they look so fucking good, dude. And I was like, I need one of these. They're so scary. Look, they remind me of Shin Godzilla type. Yeah. They're crazy. Well, I love this.
Yeah, this one is great. The Rick exclusive, from the Shonen Rick exclusive, comes with a backpack and rail guns and light up eyes. And it has and some of this paint is actually fluorescent. So it's it'll shine real bright and glow under the black light. But the cool thing is you can pre-order this from the Ava store, the Godzilla store, X Plus site, but now it's also available on the North American X Plus site. So go check that one out. It's really, really cool. I don't know the price on this one. I think it's like $250, $225 in that range, but I could be wrong. But it's scheduled to be released in February of 2025. So another Q1, but really cool stuff from those cats. And then the other stuff, talk about a hodgepodge of really cool releases. One of the ones I wanted to show was this guy right here. Let me pull it up there. Yeah, from CCP. Now, when we think of CCP, we a lot of times think of the small sofubi and stuff, or the big sofubi and the big Hedera sofubi stuff.
But I think of Spine Gap when I think of CCP.
The Spine Gap, yes. Well, this awesome Garamon is their Phantom Ultimate sculpture. And it is the Meteorite Monster Garamon with Gyarados in the deluxe version. And this is painted, and it's a resin figure. So it's a resin model kit. And it is about 30 centimeters tall. So it's in that 12-inch range the standing version. But the cool part about this is it comes with the Gyarados. So you can put him in the little Meteorite, which is so cool. You take the legs off and he sits in that base in the Meteorite. That. So really cool. Now, this thing is a little pricey. It's in that $500, $550 range. And we don't know when this thing is going to be out. But for those Ultra Q fans, for those Garamon fans, for those Pigmon fans, this is a really badass piece to put in your collection. It looks great.
Yeah, it looks really good. I think it's worth more than 500 range. I think you should spend all your money on that. That's such a cool toy.
I agree. Oh, you know what? I did. Oh, that made me think of what I totally forgot. There was one more. I don't know if you have a picture of it. There's one more thing from X Plus that came out that I think is worth talking about. Oh, I do have one. Nice. Here we go. 1974 Godzilla. We love him. This is from the large monster series. So the 25 centimeter. So the smaller one, the Kaiju series, and the Rick version has a different set of arms, so you can kind of change his fighting stance.
Yeah,
and we don't know as of at least today if this is going to get an X Plus North America release. My gut is it will, but I could be wrong. But X Plus Japan right now is the only place that has this one, but let's hope. But once again, $175, $150, something like that.
Yeah. Not bad at all.
It's great. No, it's great. It's great. I have the 75 and I love it. And the 74 one, I love the pose on it. It's just really cool. But I forgot that one. I wanted to throw that one out as we were talking about
that's
X
Plus
and stuff. So going to a little bit smaller scale. See if I can find a photo of this guy. I thought this was a really cool one as well. Here it is. Nice. Yeah. So this is this is Bandai, and this is from that Ultimate Luminous line thing they're doing with a lot of the light up eyes and stuff. And this is the SSSP Japan branch and Ultraman defending it. You know, we've seen this in other forms. I know they do a full on X plus of this, like a big size. This one is much smaller. You know, it's like, I think Ultraman's like 12 centimeters. Like, it's not very tall. You know, let's call it like 5 inches tall. But the base includes Ultraman's theme music, Ultraman's voice. It includes the sound of the color timer, and all this other cool stuff. Has the jet, has everything, and the whole set comes together. Is going to be released next March, and it's, you know, once again about $100.
That's
I love
awesome.
it. I think
That's
it's really
a very
cool.
$100 for this is awesome.
Yeah.
And I think anytime any kaiju figure comes with like buildings or
Yes,
a center or a tower, it's perfect.
yeah, 100%. So now going out of X Plus and Bandai and model kits and reds and all that stuff to a little bit more in our wheelhouse. Let's talk some sofubi. And
Let's do it.
this was one that I absolutely, and there's a few of these. So this was our latest release from Max Toy Japan, and none of these are new sculpts. They're just really cool colorways, and they're exclusive to a retailer in Japan that's kind of like, think like urban wear and skateboards and stuff called, I think it's was it Arcs and DBA. Anyway, and they've done a couple of these exclusives, but these are a list of 5 or 6 of our favorites from the Subaru license, but they just did them in these really cool colorways, and these are some of my favorite ones. So you have to start with an Ultraman. So here's the Ultraman. Ooh. A little glitter in there. Yeah, I mean, very, very cool. That's kind of just setting the tone, the appetizer, because that's by far the least, I don't even say over the top, but kind of the least memorable of them, because then we're going to give you a clear orange Canagon. Look at that. That's just amazing.
Beautiful. I want to eat that.
I know. Then a clear vinyl with some amazing paint on this Takong.
Oh.
I love Takong. So this is some really cool stuff there with the yellows and the greens and the blues and the reds and the golds and a little bit of everything. How about a cool glow in the dark pink Gango?
Huh.
Look at that guy. That's a bright glow in the dark.
Yeah.
But my favorite, without a doubt, translucent vinyl, the paint app on this Pestar, a subtle gold spray. You have this like turquoise teal metallic. There's some small bit of purple spray there around the ears, and the mouth has the red spray. Absolutely gorgeous, stunning, amazing. This is just brilliant. Brilliant. I love that one. Very cool. So we'll go from Max Toy Japan to our good buddies over at Marusan. Now, this one, I think of all the releases, and we'll talk about the nag in a second, but because that's, you know, big time dollars. But of all the releases that, you know, something that we might end up picking up, this was one I think I was most excited for, and it was from Marusan. Now they did I'm gonna get it wrong. I think it's Gallery 21 over there in Tokyo. That Marusan did a special event, or is it's running from, I think, now through like mid-November, and it's Yuji Kaida and Shinji Nishikawa. I mean, can't be that, the 2 greatest Japanese living Godzilla artists, and it's some of their paintings and then these toys inspired by the paintings. Now, we've seen them do this before. The 3 illustrators one had those 2, as well as Noriyoshi Arai, and it would do a colorway of a Marusan sculpt based on one of their illustrations.
Right.
Same thing here. It's just Kaida and Nishikawa here. So I'm going to show you I'll show you Nishikawa's first, and I'll show you the illustration, and then I'll show you the toy that's inspired by it. This is the Nishikawa. So this is based off of this right here, this cool Terror Mecha Godzilla illustration that he had done of it, very Nishikawa style. And so they took that and they did a very classic looking Godzilla Mecha Godzilla, very classic style with a little bit more of the shading than we normally see. Very subtle. Now, For Kaida, they took some really cool ones. I love this illustration, by the way. They took this awesome King Ghidorah with the flames and the fire and the electricity going everywhere.
Fuck. I can't wait to see
I know.
whatever
And
this
so-
figure looks like.
And they did now they've done a variation of this figure a couple weeks ago in a pop-up, but they made some changes to make it really capture this.
Yeah.
And it's this
Ooh.
translucent yellow with red. Now, the difference between this and the one that was released is, if you notice, there's less red. It's more strategically applied, but the white eyes and the teeth and everything to really capture it. Brilliant. They just did amazing stuff.
Man, that like gets me itchy, because it's like I don't have any.
Yeah.
I don't have a good sofubi Ghidorah in my collection. I just don't. This is so cool looking.
Well, this isn't Ghidorah, but the next one, hold on to your butts. So this is another Kaida. This is the third one. It's the second Yuji Kaida. This awesome illustration of Shin. Amazing, right? So this one, they went just crazy, and they wanted to really capture the stuff coming out, the purple coming out of it, of Shin's body. So they had to go classic Marusan, Aurora. So you see the black spray, the purples and the pinks, but then it's just jam packed with the Aurora, the cellophane, and looks amazing.
That is beautiful.
And yes, we're gonna have some of these in Tokyo Toy Town. They're on our way. We're actually gonna have them before the exhibit ends. Yeah, so we'll have some of these.
Dude,
and hopefully I'll have some
a
at
spending
DCon.
freeze.
That's
awesome.
But of the three, we only are gonna have the Shin. So
yeah.
Anyway.
Very cool.
Those were awesome. Blossom. Really cool stuff. And then last but not least, because we got to talk about it because it's always big news. And the artist passed away 5 or 6 months ago, not too long ago. Let me pull up and there's two. There's the closed mouth and the open mouth. We'll keep the open mouth up. So this is from Medicom. And they're releasing these Burning Godzillas from NAG. Shigeru Arai, the famous artist that just made that vibe and that brand just so awesome. And these are now being created by Masami Yamada. So, obviously they're going with one of the best sculptors out there to do this. And a company called Pied Piper. Every time I hear Pied Piper, I just think of the Silicon Valley, the show, the TV show. But these are 12 inches tall. They're going to retail for about $1,500. Wow. And it's going to be, once again, a lottery that is going on right now through, I believe, November 10th. And the lottery's only open to Japan, so you'll have to work with your friends over there if you can drop the money on it. But I mean, these are beautiful. These are a little bit more kind of reserved than some of the previous ones, which are just, always so crazy, but still,
I like how bumpy they are.
Yeah. I mean,
a lot of bumps.
Yeah, it's not as crazy with the giant mouth opening super wide and all that type of stuff, but it's still very, very, very cool. I don't know. They're awesome. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about, because I forgot, we actually I sent this over to you, I don't know, probably this morning when we were chatting about things, and it came out of nowhere because I'd never heard of this brand. And I'm going to try to, I don't have an image, but I'm going to try to pull up the site because they're actually on pre-order right now on Big Bad Toy Store. So I'm going to actually pull up that real quick and share my screen so we can have a visual here. And it's these, here we go. There we go. And I'll make this bigger. So this is all on Big Bad Toy Store. These are from a brand called Peria. Perry A. The A is capital over here. But that's spelled obviously like the drink. But it's these cool, play sets that, I think of immediately. I thought of the Trendmasters play sets with
for
heads,
sure.
And I'm sure that was a big inspiration, but it's Godzilla and Biollante. And there's a really cool picture of it there, but they open up and there's Godzilla just, wreaking havoc there in the boats and everything. And these do pair together. There's the Biollante. Look up. That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool. You put them together, really cool stuff. But this thing is up for pre-order right now for $180, third quarter 2025. So who knows? I believe this is the first time this company has had any licensing with Godzilla. So who knows when this thing actually comes out? But I thought it was, at least if anything, the most unexpected bit of toy news out there, because I had no idea what was going to happen.
I wonder, I would need to go back and look, but do you remember like a week or two ago, there was like pictures going around of somebody who made a big one?
Yeah.
I was like,
I think
is
it's
that
the same thing.
It's the same,
so.
but that was a big version of like, these are little, these are actually, but yeah, so I thought that was pretty crazy. They kind of came out of nowhere like that. I also don't think that's a bad price. You get them both, you know,
100%.
for $180. Very cool. And yeah, dude, reminds me big time. I mean, Trendmasters did those.
Yeah.
So,
but now you can get buy
very
long
much. Yeah, I like it.
And these are plastic. They're about, I'm looking here on the Big Bad Toy Store site, and the Godzilla close is about a little less than 6 inches long, and the Biollante is about a little over 8.5 inches long.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
cool.
So really cool stuff. But once again, I had no that other than like, I did not think. I mean, seeing that guy's sculpt, I was like, that's so cool, but it's like it was like 5 feet long. Again, it's like,
it was
oh,
huge,
now they're actually going to be. That was whether that's a prototype or whatever. Who knows? But very very cool stuff. But so a little bit of sofubi, a little bit of X Plus, a little bit
good
of
stuff.
Random stuff, and it's all,
always good. Yeah, it's always good stuff. Jay, I don't think we have too much else to talk about other than
the short, the trailer for the short.
Coming. Yeah,
it feels like that was so long ago, but I wanted to because I think it after Chaz and I recorded is like the next morning. I think it dropped.
Yeah,
right. But I kind of freaked out, dude.
Yeah, well, because it's like you kind of forget. Like I kind of forget about the shorts every year until you get around to the next one, and like I think they've even put up last year's is back on. You know how they sometimes only go up for a while and they take them down. You can go and watch last year's with a Jet Jaguar now, I think, and that big that cliffhanger of Ghidorah showing up and them teaming up. And now we got like a full trailer, and it looks great, man. I can't wait to see it. Like, it makes me want a man in suit movie so bad. I just want another movie like this. I love that Ghidorah's beams are 3 different colors. Yeah, I just like it.
Yeah, I think of a little picture of it there. There we go.
There you go. Yeah, you got like a white, orange, and a blue. I really love that.
And then there's our heroes from the end of the last one. To me, it's funny, and it's not funny. It's just like I sometimes do have to take a step back, and these shorts will be like, we're going to have Godzilla 2004 teaming up with Jaguar 73 to battle Ghidorah 2001. Like,
right?
It is the mishmash of everything, and it is just amazing and wacky and nuts. And the fact that it happens, and this is kind of cool because it's like a continuation. It's amazing.
I really wish they would put all these shorts on like a physical media somehow. I wish there was a DVD that just had all of the shorts so far. The fact that there's like the 2 different shorts happening, and I mean, we've talked about it before. It's just really cool. I really love all of it. But I have to say, I am a little disappointed in Megalon's treatment this year, and
he's not coming back.
They did not give Megalon the respect Megalon deserved.
I know it wasn't this. It was the animated one. But I thought the Godzilla versus Megalon animated one was good last year. I thought it was.
Yeah,
good. I thought it was great.
Was good. It was good.
Yeah,
I just like. Jet Jaguar was everywhere, and I love Jet Jaguar. I love Jet Jaguar. I'm not complaining about how much Jet there was, but I also Megalon is a top 3 kaiju for me, and kind of got shafted for his anniversary year. But
this is the hard. This year's hard because for 24, because then you legitimately have anniversaries for the original. You have it for Mothra versus Godzilla / Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster because they came out the same year.
Yeah.
You have it for Mecha Godzilla, and you have it for Space Godzilla, and you have it for Final Wars, and you have it for the first Legendary, and you have it for
too much.
Yeah, so I love that at the Ghidorah, but do we have another surprise? I love they did the
we're getting
teaser at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, Space
we
Godzilla
will,
coming
for
in.
sure.
I mean, who's
I
coming in
hope
now?
so. I hope so. Yeah, we'll get some Space Godzilla.
Oh, that would be so amazing.
Yeah, dude. I do. I don't know if you saw this though. I don't know if you watched Toy Anxiety this week. But speaking of Megalon, Emperor Antonio of Seatopia did join the chat.
The real one. Wow.
The real one.
I didn't know they got internet in Seatopia.
Became a member of the channel, and I was like, "Whoa, fucking Emperor Antonio's here!" So very cool.
Well, I hope Emperor Antonio knows that you have another podcast, YHS on Monster Island, that you can watch. But hopefully,
I would assume so.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. But yeah, this short. Do you know? And maybe I'm just totally missed it. Are they doing a animated short as well, or are we going back to one short this year?
I have no idea. I hope we get to. I like the storyline of the other one with like being, continuing the Heisei, and I really love the Godzilla Jr.'s adulthood and seeing his. It's like a weird alternate timeline, where it's like, I mean, it's just we talked about this last year, but the fact that you get that tease at the end of Godzilla versus Destroya, and then you never get more of that. It goes away. But now we're kind of continuing Godzilla Jr.'s story, and he's a badass, and he looks cool, and I love it so much. So I hope
we also got Gigan Rex out of that too.
Dude, why is there not more Gigan? Well, how come I don't own any Gigan Rex stuff?
It's just the
why isn't there? I want a sofubi. I want somebody to make a Gigan Rex sofubi. I want Gigan Rex in a movie.
Yeah.
I just love it. I love that we're still getting all this stuff. And when you said animated a minute ago, the first thing I thought you were talking about was the way they treated Megalon and Gigan in Singular Point, which I also love the way they did. Yeah. And I would just wish there was more. I like that we're getting all these different versions of things. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
No. Oh, hey, good time. Good time.
We're season 2 of Singular Point.
Yeah.
Please don't tell me that it's not happening. Please do not tell me that.
I might have to go restart that tonight.
I hope it's the kind of thing where we wake up one morning and there's a trailer and they're like, "Oh, it's coming. Here's the trailer."
Or it's just on. They drop all the episodes. They surprise on. On
calling
Netflix.
in sick.
I know.
Calling in sick and watching.
Yeah.
Singular Point is one of the best. We don't have time for this. We've already talked about it. It's great, and I want more of it.
Yes. Yes, please. Yes, and then some. But yeah, it was one of the best post-credit scenes, like the best.
I know.
I know.
That show killed it. Jay, did we have anything else, or was that it?
No,
that's it. We got a smooth.
Hey, we caught up. We are officially caught up.
We did a catch up, a smooth 1-hour episode this week. We're gonna be back to our regular stuff.
Yeah, we gotta think of something to talk about before.
We'll watch some movie. We'll watch something probably. I'm sure we'll
something on Tubi.
There's a lot, guys. I don't know if anybody's listening or watching and you don't know, Tubi has tons of kaiju stuff right now. I mean, there's tons of Godzilla on there. All the old Gamera movies are on there. You got other Toho stuff. Almost every Ultraman thing ever. Ultra Q is on there. There is, and then there's a bunch of rip-off stuff. A lot of Asylum type. Dude, Tubi there's so much right now on there. So that's what we'll leave you guys with. If you're bored and you don't have anything to watch, go to Tubi, check something out. If you got any suggestions on something you'd like to hear us talk about, or something you'd like both of us to watch to talk about, send it over, and maybe you could do our work for us and we won't have to pick something.
Yeah, and if not, I'm going to just bring back the game that Chaz and I played that we invented, and I'll make Jake do a little game of
let's do it.
Of collect, customize, or cash out.
That sounds fun. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna have to go watch that episode. Let's do it. Jay, if you don't have anything else, man, we'll get out of here.
That's for me, my friend.
Bye, guys.
Adios.